The journey to understand the forbidden origins of what are called African gods begins not on the continent, but in an ancient text considered too dangerous for common scripture, the Book of Enoch. While Genesis 6 cryptically mentions the sons of God taking human wives and the resulting Nephilim, Enoch details the crime. It reveals how 200 high-ranking watcher angels, led by chieftains like Samiza and Azazel, made a rebellious pact and descended upon Mount Hermon. Their motive was a lust for power, dominion, and the daughters of men. This transgression was an act of genetic and cultural sabotage, producing hybrid giants of immense strength and wickedness. But they went further, initiating humanity into forbidden knowledge. Azazel, teaching warfare and metallurgy, Shemaiah teaching sorcery, others teaching astrology and enchantments. This was not benevolence, but a calculated infusion of chaos, creating a civilization so corrupt it necessitated the Great Flood. This event of celestial beings descending to alter humanity is not just a Judeo-Christian story. It is the foundational template echoed worldwide. This template finds its powerful, indigenous expression in the African pantheon. In Yorubaland, creation itself begins with a descent, Obatala coming from Orin, heaven, on a chain to shape the land and human forms. This mirrors universal archetypes of a higher being bringing order. The parallels grow more precise. Ogun, the divine blacksmith who clears forests with iron and enables civilization, is a direct counterpart to the watcher Azazel, who taught weaponry and metalwork. Exu/Eshu, the master of crossroads, communication, and portals, seen by colonizers as the devil, functions identically to Lucifer, the brilliant intermediary who controls earthly access. Orunmila, who brought the complex Ifa divination system, mirrors the watchers who taught astrology and fate reading. The deification of powerful kings like Sango reflects the Nephilim paradigm of mighty men founding royal dynasties. Even Yemanja, the motherly ocean goddess, echoes the condemned queen of heaven cults. The consistent pattern, descent, instruction, interbreeding, kingship, and worship proves African traditions did not borrow a myth but preserved a potent memory of the same primordial event. The necessity for blood sacrifice and ritual possession across these traditions finds its ghastly explanation in the same source. The Book of Enoch describes how the Nephilim developed unnatural, insatiable appetites, eventually turning to consume blood and flesh. When their physical forms were destroyed in the flood, their disembodied spirits remained, entities craving the life force inherent in blood. Thus, blood became a spiritual currency, a technology to open portals, forge pacts, and feed these beings. This explains the Igbo, offering, and animal sacrifices. From a biblical perspective, 1 Corinthians 10 verse 20 states, such pagan sacrifices are offered to demons. The pinnacle ritual of possession, Oriksa Baiksando, where an initiate is mounted by the entity, is from this viewpoint voluntary, ritualized demonic possession, sharing all the symptoms described in the Gospels. These entities grant power because they possess real, albeit corrupted, knowledge, operating a spiritual protection racket that creates dependency and perpetual debt. Material evidence across Africa supports this narrative of ancient, advanced intervention. The Dogon people's precise knowledge of the invisible star Sirius B, attributed to amphibious beings called the Namo, mirrors Sumerian tales of the Apkalus ages. The impossible precision of the Great Pyramid of Giza encodes knowledge that Egyptian mythology attributes to gods like Thoth who ruled before humans. Sophisticated sites like Great Zimbabwe shatter colonial myths of pre-colonial emptiness, pointing to inherited science from a prior age. Ethiopia, the keeper of the Book of Enoch and alleged home of the Ark, is a crucial land bridge in this mystery. The transatlantic slave trade transplanted these spiritual ecosystems, with Orishes syncretized with Catholic saints, representing not just cultural memory, but territorial fallen angels extending their dominion to new continents like Brazil and Haiti.